大家好，我是麦克老师。今天就有点下雨了，所以我就在我车库给你拍个视频。最近有一些粉丝留给我评论说，美国最近的经济情况啊、关税问题啊，各种不同的问题，你是不是很后悔离开上海搬到美国定居？这些在我后面的盒子，是我们2、3个月前从上海运过来的东西，今天刚刚来到，所以今天算是搬家完成。所以我觉得今天有点特别的，离开上海已经有2年了，住在北卡有1年，算是已经有2年的时间可以反思我们离开上海的选择。我不会让大家看到视频最后才告诉大家我是不是后悔。So I'll just answer the question directly. No, I don't regret leaving Shanghai, and I want to tell you why. There are many things I could talk about. However, a lot of them boil down to life stage, wanting to leave a big city, live somewhere a little more rural, and education, specifically for my son Xiaomai. Also wanting to get out of an apartment and into a house, have some more space, be close to nature, have a backyard, have neighbor friends. I guess those are a bunch of different reasons. We'll talk about it. I spent about half of my adult life in Shanghai. I have a lot of great memories there, a lot of great experiences. Along with those come some negative experiences as well, just having lived there for so long. And don't get me wrong, it's a great city. There's just so much to do. In fact, it's a little overwhelming. And me and my wife both felt that the moment we landed back in Shanghai about 3 months ago. We went back to visit family after having lived in more rural areas for almost the past 2 years. It's a little shocking going back to Shanghai. There's just stuff going on everywhere. You've got traffic and people. There's just a lot going on. I would say the same thing if I was living in New York City or LA or London. And I went to LA a couple months ago and it's just overwhelming. It's huge. The traffic is crazy. And if you're ever traveling overseas, whether to or from China, be sure you check out the Saily app. I used it when I was over there for about 5 weeks. It was fantastic. Worked flawlessly. 5G everywhere I went. I was especially excited about the fact I did not need to buy a separate VPN software. I could check my work emails, get on YouTube without any issues. I know what you're thinking. Another ad. This is a product I have used and will continue to use in the future when I travel. And honestly, I think you should too. All you gotta do is download the app. You can see the reviews speak for themselves. You can set up your plan the day before you travel like I did. As soon as you land, turn it on and bam, service. Don't you just love technology? I remember after we landed in Shanghai, we were waiting for our bags to come out and there were all these, SIM card places where you could go and get a SIM card while you wait. But I just thought, man, I don't have to do that. I already got mine. Now, of course, my mobile phone plan in the US works in China as well. However, I would get charged roaming fees, which was about 3 to 4 times what I was paying for my Saily eSIM. It just wasn't worth it to me, and I knew I was just going to be in China and Thailand, so I picked an Asia region plan. If you're only going to one country, you can just choose that specific country and get a lower rate. Or if you're going around the world, you can just choose a global plan, which works in like over 180 different countries. Don't forget to use my code MICA when you check out and get 15% off of every purchase as many times as you want. No limit. You can thank me later. That's why I want to talk about life stage. When I first went to Shanghai, I was young, I was single. There were many opportunities for teaching jobs and other jobs. There is literally something for everyone. I remember one time I walked into a barbecue place and there were about 30, 40 people having a party for their club, which was Underwater Hockey Club. I didn't even know that existed. But then over time, you get married and you have to start thinking about the other person. A little more time goes on and then you have a child and then you really have to start thinking about people other than yourself. You want to do this and this and this, but you can't. You've got bigger responsibilities, and those are good responsibilities. I wouldn't trade those for anything. And then a little more time goes, and you've got to think about the child's education. And that ended up being one of the big reasons we left. The educational environment in Shanghai is good. It's great educational opportunities. It's highly competitive. And for Xiaomai, going to an international school, it's extremely expensive. It just wasn't for us. I remember a few years ago, we were in Yunnan near Shanghai. We were staying at an adventure camp there, Hongpo. There's an American family who runs it. It was an amazing stay. And they do all kinds of camps where kids come from Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, and just get this very immersive nature experience. And I remember talking to the owner about it, and he just said, for most of these kids in middle school or high school, this is the first time they've ever gone camping, the first time they've ever gone rock climbing, or maybe even hiked a mountain. And that was just kind of crazy to me, because I grew up camping and fishing and hiking, and I just really love the outdoors, as does my wife. We just really want Shanghai to be a kid when he's a kid. We don't want to overburden him with study. I just want him to grow up near the outdoors, camping, fishing, playing sports. Getting good grades is important too, but it's not the only thing. And I'm not worried about him. He's doing fantastic in school, but that's one of the reasons we chose this area, because of the highly rated public school system. And to be honest, I've been pretty impressed with the public school here so far. He really loves soccer, and we've got him on a soccer team and soccer practice. Super cheap actually here. I remember in Shanghai I was paying like 300 or 350 RMB, 45-minute to 1-hour lesson. I just spent $100 this spring, and he gets one practice every week for 12 weeks. That's like $8 or 50 RMB per lesson. We were also just kind of tired of living where it's just go, 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 go. The pace of life is very, very fast. And that's also not something we wanted for ourselves or for our son to grow up in. We're in a house here now, which we just moved into a month ago. No more apartment life for us for a while. I can bike 1 block that way, and I'm on all these amazing bike trails. I can go to a bunch of parks. I can just be in nature so quickly. You can probably hear the birds chirping all around me. There was one now. It's just really quiet, and I'm old, so I like that. Now that we're in this house, man, I can't tell you what an upgrade this is. Shanghai's getting big. We just need more space. So despite what we may hear in the news, life here is pretty good. My wife has absolutely fallen in love with this place and prefers it to Shanghai as well, but also for similar reasons. Different life stage, education for our son, wanting to have a big suburban house we can call our own eventually. This is still a rental. I honestly don't have a lot to complain about here. The weather is fantastic. We get like 4 months of spring, 4 months of fall. The air is fresh. We have sunny days 90% of the time, but unfortunately not today. The schools are great. The hospitals are great. We've met a ton of people, made a lot of friends already. It's quiet, it's peaceful. It's consistently one of the safest cities in the United States. If I left my house for a week and forgot to lock my doors, I wouldn't worry about it. Everything is like within a 10-minute drive. The airport is 15 minutes that way. I never realized how much of a life hack it is living 15 minutes from an international airport. Is it as exciting as Shanghai? No. Is it a more quiet, peaceful, slower pace of life than Shanghai? Yes, of course. My biggest complaint would be that some of the buildings and houses lack a bit of character. In Shanghai, you've got tons of old buildings with amazing history and character. Like every place on earth, there's upsides and downsides. You say yes to this, you say no to that. If you find the perfect place on earth, please let me know in the comments, because I still haven't found it yet. My wife and I always joke that if we were ever to move back to China, we would just go to Yunnan, like Dali or something. You've got low population density, you've got mountains, you've got lakes, you've got fresh air, you've got a much lower cost of living, which is mostly what I have here, except for the low cost of living. Of course, there are always going to be a lot of things I miss about Shanghai and just big city life, like the conveniences, the fact that you don't need a car to get around, just the excitement of big city life. But that phase is gone. I'm old. Time to move on to the next phase. Another reason, the last one I'll talk about is family. You know, my mom and dad are not getting any younger. So for this season of life, it's just very important that I'm here in the US. So that's it. And although I won't be back to Shanghai for a while, I will be back. And when I come, I will definitely have my Saily eSIM ready to go, because I'll need to stay connected to my life, business, and work here in the US. So that's all I got. No regrets. What do you think? Did I make the right choice? Leave me your opinion below. And as always, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. 我是麦克老师，下次再见。